Hi guys, Asad from Xnix, and today we are installing a 2K unit in one of the GXL 200 series. It is a 2012 model. That's the unit. It's pretty easy to install or remove the factory unit. Okay, so you need basically a trim removing tool. You can use a flathead screwdriver with some tape around it or so. So first you pull this one out, left air vent out. I have taken these out as well, so it's easy. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 clips on it. Usually mounting it to here, at the bottom, over here, and here. It usually have one cable connected to it. That is one small harness with 4 pins. That is for your temperature control. That's for left side. Right side, exactly the same. You pull it out, got 2 plastic clips on the top, 2 plastic clips at the bottom, and that's it. That will come out. It also has a pin connector too. Right, now on the top we'll just pull it out as well to access the screws for the factory unit. Again, you can see these are just the plastic clips. You just simply pull them out and move these things, move the cover at the back. What you will see is afterwards that there are 4 10mm screws, one mounted here, one here, one there, and one over here. So 4 screws, 10mm socket, and they will all be out in a jiff. And that's basically all done to pull for the unit to be. So that's basically everything is done now, and we are ready to pull the unit out because we have removed the screws. So just use one hand or 2 hands. Let's see. Okay, maybe I need to use 2 hands. Oh, there you go. The cover comes out. Cover is separate from the unit, and cover has the hazard light switch connected, which is over here. Simply press it down and take it out. All right, that's there. Cover also has your top computer or trip computer or the clock, I believe so, in this car. And there's another pin, and that will come out. Put it on the side. All right, now it's time for the unit, so we'll pull the unit out. Right, so we are ready to pull out the unit. I've just put in some protection over here, a towel or something like that will do as well. As you can see, unit is now free and ready to come out, and there we go. All right, so that's all the back connections of the unit. So what we can see over here is that's your reverse camera input. That's the factory reverse camera, your main power harness and the front speakers, your rear speakers, a couple of other cables. That's for your steering wheel controls and the reverse signal and your radio. All right, so now unit is out. Let us run through the different harnesses that we have. So your primary harness with constant, ACC, ground, and your front speakers. What it also has is over here, this actually the one, because we can use, there is a jump harness being used by Toyota in there, and that has this extra cable coming out which is going into the Toyota antenna, radio antenna connector. So that is power for the radio antenna, which new unit will supply to it. Without this cable connected, you may not actually get the trigger to get the radio antenna going. As you can see, this wire is over here. The wire next to it can be amp turned on some models or some of the different Toyota models. Obviously, we can see that on the factory one there is no cable over here. So that's your primary. That is your secondary, which is a 6-pin, but only 4 cables are connected. That's your rear speakers. That's your factory reverse camera input. Okay, that's basically your steering wheel connector. So this connector is mostly used in pre-2012 models. However, as we noticed that this car has a bit upgraded model, so from Toyota they have put in some jump harnesses to give it a more 28-pin connector instead of the standard 24-pin connector over here, or this. Yeah. So that's the case with this. Now in this specific connector, you can see there are a lot of cables coming in, but there is one cable that we will need to chip in, and that is this green cable. It may be a different color if your car is a bit later model, your Cruiser, but this green one is your reverse signal wire, which is basically on this small 5-pin connector is this blue cable. And you can see this blue is coming out for this green. It's going all the way up to here because your factory unit gets its reverse signal from this specific cable. So if we have to retain the factory camera, we will chip into this. If you are installing the new camera, you can still power that camera from here instead of powering it through the reverse light. Now, depending on your model, maybe GX may not have it, maybe some of the early model GXLs may not have it. I believe 2010 onwards do have this connection, or at least this smaller 5-pin socket, which cable's coming to it. Altitude will also have it, and VX will also have it, both this and maybe this or not, depending on the factory head unit. Alright everyone, so we have done all the cable patching with the factory ones. So plug and play for the primary harness, plug and play for the rear speaker harness, plug and play for the radio harness, and plug and play for your steering wheel harness. Now for the reverse camera retention on this specific model, what we have used is we have used our added supplied on harness, and it is patched to the green cable, as I mentioned before, that is coming up from here, and that is for your reverse signal wire. Now if your car doesn't have it, you can obviously patch in there. On some altitude models, it's a very old style Toyota 6CD in-dash changer. So if you have that, you may not have this extra harness because that's not compatible with your car, so you can chip into this cable. So over here what we have done is I've connected the purple and white cable from the retention harness with the brown cable marked as back over here somewhere. Yes, marked as back to this green cable. So it will not only power the camera, it will also be providing the signal to the unit to switch into the reverse mode when the camera is connected. With the camera retention, we have one small chipset over here. I think that's reduces 12 volt to 6 volt to turn the camera power on. We have a video out connector for reverse camera signal, and a ground connector, which is this one, so that we will patch it to the closest point, most probably either on this side or on that to the factory, one of the factory. We're using one of the factory screws, and that's pretty much it. Right, everyone. So the unit has been installed and it is just doing the first boot at the moment. Right, so the first boot always takes a bit longer from subsequent boots. Right, so we are now on our default screen. We'll do some settings quickly. These screens, the 2K screens, they do not actually have any side buttons over here, so they are more suited to the cars with the factory steering wheel controls. If you don't have it, you will be struggling to put the volume down or so. I think you can get some adaptive volume there, but the best way is to have steering wheel control. So we'll just complete the process for the remaining controls. So simply click on start, select the function that you want to do. So in this case, next, and then press next over here, and you can see there is a tick sign comes up, which means that's configured. It's again asking you to select the function. Click on this, the previous one, and now it's asking to select the corresponding button on the steering wheel. We do volume down, or sorry, but next and back, previous, and that's done. The last button on the steering wheel is mode. Click that, and there we go, mode is done. That's everything is done. Now going back to the radio. You can see that. We can see radio station switching over, and the mode button is working, going on to the different channels as well. There we go. All right, so the last thing to check is for the reverse camera. So put the car in on, yes, shift lock, with that, in reverse mode. Now you can see screen is all fuzzy because unit is by default set to AHD, and we know the Toyota factory cameras are NTSC based. So simply click here, click over here, go to camera, and click on the camera selection. Oh, sorry, there we go. There you go, and select NTSC, and you can see the images back up, and go a bit more brightness, a bit more contrast, and that's done. There we go. Factory reverse camera looks amazing, looks more amazing on the camera, but yeah, you can see much wider image than the factory unit. So that's all done, and it switches back to the last mode that we were in. There we go. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.